Robson very politely sniggered at my expression on the sting. Nothing wrong with that. I would have sniggered too. I think I was sniggering on the sting, in fact. Well, let's wrap it up because it's actually been quite an interesting day. The headline, of course, being the speculation, although it's very heavy speculation, and I would say there's quite a lot in it, that Martin Olsen and Norwich and Swansea have agreed a £5 million fee, and that one could well be one that's going to happen. Yeah. Robson's shaking his head. Dan's ready to talk.
I think £5 million, is that a big enough fee for an international who's been a great player here for Norwich? He's not an old player, he's late 20s at the most. I just think £5 million is not, in the current climate, a big enough fee for him.
We can see, it was originally broken from a tweet by John Percy. He tweeted the news earlier today. He works for the Telegraph. This is a player who signed a new contract in November under the premises that would obviously be a slightly longer stay, but ultimately has probably just meant that Norwich could secure a higher value if this does go through.
I think that contract was to get the higher value for him, but £5 million in this market isn't enough, considering you can get players who aren't really that great. I think Snodgrass, for example, is worth about 10 million, with West Ham bidding, I think it was 3 million. I'd say Olsen would be worth about 10 million, if I'm going to be honest. And then with selling him, we haven't got that left-back cover because we're on the verge of selling Brady as well.
This is the major issue, isn't it? Robbie Brady, I will never have him as a properly recognised left-back. I know some people will, but Norwich obviously are keen to sell him, Cedric, and Harry Toffolo's just been loaned out.
This is what I don't understand. You know, they've been targeting 3 left-back, obviously Olsen, Brady. Toffolo has obviously been extending his loan, so they can lose 3 players who we're going to replace. I think Norwich got something behind those. It must be. Yeah. They can't really sell and put something on Twitter today that Olsen is on his way out for £5 million and have no replacement behind.
I agree, and Alec Neil said it himself. He has to sell before he buys. So who's going to step up then?
Well, again, reports, rumours, Twitter. Bojan Jokic, who was at Villarreal, was at loan at Forest last season, maybe could come in. I know you saw Tyrone Mings, they mentioned.
Ex-Ipswich player. Obviously now Bournemouth. He could be on his way to Norwich on loan, so...
I also saw Kieran Gibbs' name mentioned, which would be...
I think that's aiming a little high, maybe. But,
wow, I'm just saying I saw it mentioned.
There has to be a player in place to come in, should they lose one, if not 2 of the players on the books now. They can't have a situation where those players move on and there's no plan B.
But again, if it was a loan player, Robson, how would you feel about that? If it was someone that came in on loan?
I couldn't do with a loan player because you need someone who's going to be at the team for at least another year. You can't have someone who's on loan for the rest of the season because they aren't going to be focusing on the team. They'll be focusing on their career and hoping to play for the team they're off loan from. So they'd want to be playing for that team on loan they're on loan from. So
it's a bit of a merry-go-round with Robbie Brady as well, isn't it? Because I think Crystal Palace bid £10 million for Robbie Brady that was supposedly turned down. They've then bid the equivalent for Jeffrey Schlupp at Leicester. Leicester want to sell him, but they want to also buy Robbie Brady. So all 3 of those clubs seem to be in a right old muddle. I'm sure we'll talk about Robbie Brady lots and lots. Sergi Canos, Leeds...
I don't know. Here's a player who's 19. He came in for a decent fee. He had a great year at Brentford last season. People thought, this is a player on paper. It was a good signing. He can't get a look in. Now, someone at Norwich saw him last season, thought he's the player for us. Yet he gets here and he can't get a game. And you have to ask why. Recruitment again for Norwich, there are huge question marks. He's obviously a player who's got ability. Why can't he get even on the bench for Norwich?
Absolutely. And Sam Winnell is the other one. Barnsley striker has been linked, £500,000.
I haven't heard much about him, to be honest, but we do need a striker, so that would probably be the perfect ideal.